The professional look of the crochet mattress stitch is one thing, but what surprised me the most is how easy and quick it is to do. Hi, my name is Sandy Marie, and I'm a crochet fiber artist. My personal focus is on tapestry crochet. My goal with these videos is to inspire the artist in each of you and to teach techniques to help you get there. In this video, I'm going to show you how to sew the crochet mattress stitch. So let's head right over to my studio where we can get started. I used to hate sewing pieces together. As a matter of fact, I would avoid patterns that called for any kind of sewing. However, the crochet mattress stitch changed my mind forever. It is fast, it is easy, and it is beautiful. So let me go ahead and show you here. I've got a couple of little sample pieces. And I'm going to show you first of all how to do this with two straight edges. In other words, the top of two different pieces. Yes, this is a paper clip. This is for threading my very, very, very large needle. I'll show you how this works. It's real easy. I just bent the paper clip all to heck. But it works so nice, I kept using it. Now, the first part is to remember when you're crocheting something that you know you're going to have sewing involved with, leave nice long tail ends. The general rule of thumb is to leave an end about 3 times the length, the total length of the item that you are going to be sewing. So if your item is 10 inches long or 10 inches wide, you're going to want to leave a tail end 3 times that size, or 30. Now I have found I can do it with about 2 times the length. I don't have to go 3. But when you're first starting, you might want to try 3, and then you can slowly cut yourself down as you learn how to do this. So when you have a tail end that is attached, you're going to start on the opposite end of the entire piece. So tail end on this side, we're going to start over here. Oh, by the way, if you forgot to leave a long tail end, you can simply just thread a needle and do this. In order to start your project, you are going to, first of all, go to the opposite side, and you're going to catch. Let me see if I can show this here a little bit better. I'm going to use my pointer. In order to start, you want to catch this little piece right here, and you're going to sew into this part right here. Now when doing the mattress stitch, the general rule of thumb is to crochet first of all from this side to this side, and then the next stitch is from this side to this side. So let me show you how. Start here. Your starting stitch goes from the top down, like so. And on the other side, whoops, let me pull that through a little bit. On the other side, you want to go from the top down as well. And then you just pull through. Now a start is always a little bit difficult. Okay, so that gets you started. Now, when you're doing crochet, now I know on knit they say that you should do it from the top. When you're doing crochet, do it from the bottom. Do your sewing on the bottom side. If you need the extra strength, after you've sewn the bottom side, you can always flip it over and sew the top side as well. So far, I haven't had any problems with this stitch either way. Now, keep your needle nice and straight, and sew from this side to this side. Pick up stitches that match. Like so. And then move to the next stitch up, and you're going in the opposite direction. This side to this side. Like so. And remember, keep that needle nice and straight. That's one of the tricks. Okay, and again, this side to this side. Always move up one stitch. This side to this side. Now, after you've done about 5 stitches, 4 or 5 stitches, just pause in your sewing. Make sure that you hold on to the bottom and begin pulling straight up. Now, you don't want to pull up this way. You want to pull straight up along the seam. And all that's going to do is just pull the stitches together. And don't pull too tight. What I did here on purpose is I pulled the stitch way too tight so that you could see how that draws up that bottom. If you happen to do that, just go ahead and pull it out. I want to show you the other side here, just so you can see how nice that matches. See that? Isn't that beautiful? This is one of the reasons why they call it the invisible stitch, because you can't see the thread that's going through here. And we caught the yellow with dark green. So we're going to do a few more here. And again, you ended here, so you start on the same side and go in the opposite direction. Now I'm actually going kind of slow here, but when you're doing your own project, you'll find that this is really easy and it goes very fast. Oop. By the way, I just leave long tail ends everywhere when I'm sewing because I never know exactly which thread I'm going to want to use. And there we go. And this is about number 4, so I'm going to tighten it back up again. Okay, you can see that I've got very loose threads here. Again, you pull up the seam, not up this way, up the seam, and that tightens it together. And again, doesn't that look wonderful? I love it. By the way, I do techniques videos every Tuesday. If you're new here, you may want to consider subscribing so that you don't miss any. And we're just going to finish this off real quick. You don't have to do it flat. You can see that I can do it, whoops, without catching the yarn on the top. And when you get to the top, then go ahead and just pull the stitches tight again. Now, one thing that I always do is when I'm completely done with the seam, or when I have about 4 inches done, I give it another pull just to make sure that that yarn is seated in there real good. You'll notice that I grabbed a hold of the bottom so that I didn't have that pull on the bottom. And there you have it. Isn't that nice and pretty? That is a professional looking seam. But what happens if you're sewing on the inside where you've got this rough edge? Now I know, isn't that beautiful, because you got a straight edge there. But let's take a look at what it would be on a rough edge. And I have another wonderful piece here. Now I know I've got stitches going up on one side and stitches going down on the other side. It really doesn't matter with the mattress stitch. I love my paper clip. And again, you're going to start on the opposite side and you're going to catch the end loops. So this loop, and this loop. Now when you're doing stitches on the rough edges, go up on one side with your needle and go down on the other side with your needle. I don't know why, but it does seem to work much better. And that gets me started. Now, with a rough edge, it's a little bit more difficult, simply because what you're going to do is you're going to catch back threads, not the full thread. And you're just going to have to pay attention a little bit. So I got the back thread here, and I got a back thread here. It's more important at this point to keep your needle straight when doing this than it is even when you're doing the even edges. If you let your needle get like this, diagonal, you're going to find that you're going to pull your whole work diagonal. So now this looks real good here. And just try to catch one thread. Keep that needle straight. Sorry for crossing over the work here. And I'm on this side, so now I'm going to go back in that direction. And I'm going to catch this thread here. Well, we're going to go up one. We're going to catch this thread, and we're going to catch this thread. One thread on the back. Hard for me to see this. Ah, there it is. Keep the needle straight. And we're going to do one more and tighten it so that you can see what it looks like. We're going to do this thread and this thread. You don't necessarily have to catch stitches when you're working on the rough edge. You just have to make sure that you're always even. That's another reason for keeping your needle straight. Just like on the other side, you want to pull your thread up along the seam. Do not try to pull it up away from the project. So just tighten it. And I'm going to show you what it looks like on the other side. So doesn't that look great? You see how the stitches are actually kind of coming together here? So we are going to do a couple more stitches, and then, that's about it. I'm going to hold this up in the air now, because it does, for me, it goes a little quicker when I'm holding it up in the air. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because that's the way I've done it. When I'm working on a big project, I'll lay it out like on a dining room table. That way I can make sure that I haven't somehow goofed things up. And make sure that your corners meet. Well, if you have corners. I do. And I'll do one more here. And again, pull up. And just like with this one, when you get about 4 or 5 inches, then take the time to really pull on that thread so that it really seats nice and even. Now I do want to point out we used blue, and you can see the blue here on the wrong side of this, but when you flip it over, you can't see the blue. So even on the rough edge of your crochet, you can see that the blue is actually being hidden. Well, that's about it for the mattress stitch. It's very, very easy, goes quick, and I think you're going to fall in love with it just like I did. So enjoy the mattress stitch and start giving your stuff a professional edge when you're actually sewing it together.
Thanks for taking the time to watch. I know you're going to love using the Crochet Mattress Stitch. If you liked this video, hit that thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe. If you want to get notifications, click the bell that's next to the subscribe button. Also, take a moment and read the notes below. There's a lot of good information down there. Question of the week. What project are you working on that needs to be sewn together? Are you going to use the Crochet Mattress Stitch? Please leave your answer in the comments below. The questions help me create video content that helps you. So, I'll see you next Tuesday. Until then, make it an awesome week.